What's up, everybody, and welcome to JazzyRell TV. So today
is some AirBnB beef.
Yes, we got some beef going on, and we have only been live for about 6 weeks.
If y'all been following the journey up until now, y'all know that we made our AirBnB go live in December. We've had about 5 or 6 guests during that time, and now we recently received another booking. This booking was an instant book, which means that we were in the middle of communicating with multiple guests about the potentiality of them booking our unit when we received notification that we've been instantly booked. Instant book is a feature that Airbnb offers. It's not uncommon. We allow instant books. We figured that why dilute the process of getting people in? We want people in. So if they want an instant book, go ahead and instant book, as long as they meet the proper criteria that Airbnb outlines. So we received notification that someone had instant book. That was on January 28th.
Right, and the instant book was for the month of February. So for the whole month of February, they instant book.
When we received the message, we immediately sent our saved message to them, letting them know that they were trying to book for a month. We consider that an extended stay. Here are some of the stipulations that go along with an extended stay. Please be aware of these. We were looking for a response back to that message. We never got it. Maybe the next day or
the day before check-in.
The day before check-in, because keep in mind, she instant booked maybe only 2 or 3, maybe about 3 to 4 days prior to what her check-in day was gonna be. So the day before check-in, we followed up with another message letting her know that tomorrow would be her check-in day and that the code to enter the unit would be sent 1 hour prior to that. Just to make sure that nobody's checking in early or, doing anything. We just try to control and mitigate things a little bit. So we make sure we don't give them access to the unit until it's close to the time that they're actually supposed to check into it. So again, we did not receive any response from her, right? Now, being that we are new to Airbnb, her not responding to those 2 messages should have been a red flag, and we should have canceled her right then and there. But again, we are new to Airbnb, so we didn't want to cut anyone's legs from up under them and take away their opportunity to stay in the unit. Maybe they just hadn't had a chance to, respond to these messages.
And another thing I want to add to is that any way that you respond to a message, it's being recorded.
All of our progress is tracked. So if we cancel a reservation, that looks bad on us. They track how many times we cancel reservations, how fast do we respond to messages, and a number of other things as well. How much do we utilize the website for all of our communication, all those sorts of things. So we didn't want to cancel because, again, that would have worked negatively against our profile.
Plus, it's the instant book, so therefore they meet the requirements. So it was kind of like a, we really didn't know.
Right. So we never got a response, and now it is the day of check-in. It is February the 1st, and it is about 5 hours
before 3 o'clock, so like 10:50, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 to 11 o'clock. That's around the time that we receive a message from Airbnb telling us that our guest wants a refund of her on her booking because our unit is unsafe. Right? Unsafe?
How?
You haven't been here yet. You haven't seen the place yet. How is it unsafe? So this is where shit get real. What I want to do is I actually want to pull up the messages so this can be accurately documented. We want to get y'all abreast of the situation, and y'all tell us how we should handle this from here.
Right.
Okay, so
the message was at 10:36 on February 1st.
The message that lets us know that the guest wants a refund was sent at 10:36 according to Airbnb website. And here's another reason why you keep your communication on Airbnb. We have a record of everything that has gone on. even to the point of when she actually booked and when we sent our messages. So all that stuff is documented because we communicate only through Airbnb, just like Airbnb says. So let's get to it. All right. I hope this message finds you well. My name is blank. I am one of the case managers here at Airbnb. I'm reaching out to you on behalf of your guest, blank. Your guest reached out, complaint, typos. Your guest reached out complaining that the listing is unsafe and requested to refund her reservation. I would like to hear your side about this claim of your guest, and I'm glad to assist both of you on settling this claim. My role here is to treat you fairly to help you and your guest reach an agreement for a resolution. If you and your guests are unable to reach one, with my help, I will have to make the decision. However, my aim is to ensure that it's fair for both of you.
And that's from the Airbnb support team.
Yes, so that's what the support team said to us. I responded to them, hello, thank you for reaching out. This guest never checked in and has had no firsthand experience with the unit that would allow any determination of its safety. In attempts to make the guest check-in process smooth, I have sent messages prior to the check-in date, and I have received no messages.
No response.
I have received no responses. The reservation was an instant booking. My assumption is this person was not clear on the booking process, made a mistake, and now wants their money back. Due to this guest, our listing has been unavailable for a week, and the reservation occupies the entire month of February. We were actively communicating with other more promising guests during the time her instant booking removed availability from our other guests. They respond, thank you for your response. Upon checking, your guest booked the reservation last January 29th. That's inaccurate. Airbnb themselves sent us a message on January 28th. So they already starting off on a bad foot because they are not keeping up with their own paper trail. And they want to refund the guest. Now, why is this an issue, boo?
Airbnb provide cancellation policies. Why are you asking us if we're gonna refund them their money? According to your policy, they do not have a right to a refund. So leave me alone and let them know, like, hey, you can cancel this reservation and keep it moving. Like, I don't understand why we going back and forth.
Their policy clearly outlines how to handle cancellations under these circumstances. It's cut and dry based on their own rules.
We want this to play out so we can understand how Airbnb protects the host.
I'm gonna read you my response because I feel like it encapsulates a lot of the issues and ideas. It's a lot easier. So I reiterated to him, there were multiple inquiries that were no longer an option. We have an email that shows she instant booked at 4:02 p.m. on January 28th, correcting his mistake earlier about the 29th. It was sent from Airbnb to our email address. Regardless, this booking has jeopardized our earning potential and we have taken a loss. The claims that the guest is attempting to use as justification for a refund are not true, considering they have never been to the unit, period. As honest and loyal hosts who use only Airbnb to conduct our business, I want to know how Airbnb intends to protect us mutually in this situation. A full refund is a one-sided solution that neglects our inconveniences, and we are the ones documented with conducting ourselves as Airbnb suggests. Reopening the calendar is going to happen regardless. That's what I said, but we're gonna let this story continue to develop so that you can see. But in my opinion, it's like offering me to reopen my calendar is like, duh, if they're not gonna book, open the calendar back. What? That's not a consolation for the situation. Like, come on. Airbnb responds to us.
And make sure you give them a timestamp. Well, not a timestamp, but the time frame and like all of that happened.
Okay, so we sent that message February 1st, 5:30. We didn't get a response to the next day at 9 in the morning. And it says, I hope my email finds you well. My name is blank.
This is a new person.
This is a new person. So our last one who said, I'm your dedicated da-da-da-da-da, clearly they wasn't very dedicated because now we got somebody new on the case.
Right.
And so they're like, my name is blank. I'm a case manager, blah, blah, blah. I tried calling you, however, unsuccessful. May I please have your preferred time for a callback so I can discuss with you regarding an escalated issue with reservation regarding blank. And I'm like, okay, cool. Call me today at 4 p.m. At least this guy asked, when should I call you? Because they understand that people have different types of schedules, different levels of availability, right? Different windows of availability. At least he asked, when should I call? Told him 4 o'clock. He called me at 4 o'clock. This is what's not on paper trail. He called me at 4 o'clock. Yeah, he called me at 4 o'clock, letting me know that the conversation was gonna be recorded for training purposes. I said, okay, cool. I basically briefed him on everything that we just talked about. At the end of that conversation, it was concluded that, okay, she's saying the place is unsafe and she's never been there. Understood. So therefore, I need to go back and talk to this guest to try to clarify what's really good, because the story's not adding up from her side. So I'll get back to you with more information once we communicate with the guest. That's I'm assuming that we ended up actually talking around the correct time. So the following day at about 1:40, we get a message. It's from Airbnb support again. Hi, I hope this message finds you well. My name is blank.
A new case manager.
Again. Keep in mind, the one who messaged me asking me when should they give me a call also was not the person I spoke to on the phone. Just to, you know. But new case manager said he just tried to call me. Unfortunately, he couldn't get through. Didn't ask when he should call me. Just said that he tried to call and he didn't get an answer. At that time, I actually was right next to my phone. My phone rung for half of 1 second. Yes, too fast for me to pick it up, even though it's right there. And no message was left, no voicemail messages were left. So anyway, he says he tried to call me, couldn't get through, okay, whatever. Again, if I try to call that number back, I'm just gonna get a bunch of automated messages and start having to go through this whole chain of whatever. Wasn't finna deal with that right now, it's in the middle of the workday. Says he's following up about the situation. Your guest was trying to call you because they would like to check in on your listing and would like to get the door code. Unfortunately, she was not able to get in touch with you. Now, she never called. There will be no record on her phone or mine showing that she ever attempted to directly communicate with me. But now they're telling me, after 2 days of going through this situation, that she actually wants to check in. Who told them to say that to me? I don't know, but that's what they're claiming right now. So she would like to check in. She wasn't able to get in touch with you. Please contact your guest. At the moment, she's having difficulties with her Airbnb account.
Who fault is that?
Who fault is that? But okay, she's having difficulty with her Airbnb account. Maybe that explains why she has never responded to any of our messages prior to, and still has not. So it says, we've placed your payout for this reservation on hold until we confirm that your guest has entered the listing. We hope to have this resolved within an hour and a half. This was on February 3rd. If we or your guest do not hear from you by 3:30, we may have to cancel this reservation so that the guest can find a new place. Cancellation penalties will apply. Like we said, they penalize you if you do too many cancellations. And it says, please keep us posted. I'll respond to them within 26 minutes. I responded back to them. The listing is able to be accessed with this code. I wanted to send it to them so that if I had some kind of blockage of communication between me and this guest, at least maybe they can get to the guest, because apparently they are communicating with her. So I gave them the code and I texted her the code and I called her and left the code as voicemail. So all of this was done within 20 minutes.
And you left the code on the Airbnb messaging app to her.
Again, I responded to them in 20 minutes. 3.5 hours later, I have to message them again now. I have not received messages from Airbnb or the guest. I have sent the door codes via Airbnb and directly to the guest. And then I listed all of the other forms of which I communicated with them. I received no response that entire day. The next day rolls around. It's now February the 5th, and Airbnb support reaches out to me again, right? Hi Narelle, thank you for reaching out to us. This is blank.
Another case manager.
In my Khaled voice, another one. Like for real though, come on man. We're reaching out. Please be informed that your guests, after waiting for 3 days for you to communicate with them the lock code, they have decided not to continue with the reservation anymore. The situation has caused them more expenses. They have to stay at a hotel. Because of this, the guest is asking for a full refund. Please inform us if we can process the refund on your behalf. Hold up. Hold up. What's the hold up?